Well, hey everyone, I'm Becca Fabry, and I'm here with the one and only Cal Robinson, who who did these lovely ESA 50th posters. And if you've been following our Instagram account for a while, you may also recognize their name from the Obscure Species comics that we've pushed out over the last few months. So, our in-house celebrity, Cal Robinson. Hey, Cal.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. And throughout this Q&A, feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and we'll try to get to all of them. So, yeah, Cal, tell me about where you're from and what did you study in school?
So I'm from Lake Stevens, Washington. It's a town in the Pacific Northwest. It's a bit northeast of Seattle. And I studied, my undergrad was in linguistics. I got it from Western Washington University. And my graduate degree was a Master of Arts in Biology from Miami University, Ohio, where I studied basically creative interpretation techniques.
Okay, well, what got you interested in art?
Well, I started drawing pretty much ever since I was little, and started pretty much with animals right away. When I was in elementary school, I was really into insects and reptiles and amphibians, so I drew a lot of those, and I had a wolf phase, so I drew a lot of wolves, and even had a little bit of a horse phase, and so horses for a while. I went through it all, and so I never really stopped drawing animals, although I've branched out and now draw people too, and draw some cartoon stuff. But drawing animals is a bit of like a comfortable home base in a way. So, yeah.
Yeah, can you just tell me about these portraits then? Because you did a really amazing job on them, speaking of animals. And did you paint them on canvas?
Yeah, so all of the paintings, and there's 8 total, are digital. And we tried hard to get a variety of different kinds of species, and there's a plant. So when I digital paint, I usually approach it pretty similarly to how I would do a traditional painting, and I do also do acrylic painting. So I'll start with a sketch, and then I will refine it a bit, and then I just start laying down usually the base colors, the background, base colors, and then you kind of work from darker to light. So you start doing like for the condor, you start adding the highlights to the feathers until it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, and then you kind of reach the lightest highlights.
Did you have a favorite one that you did?
Yeah, I do really like how they all turned out, but these 2 are my favorite. The ferret, I just really like the expression when capturing that one the most out of all of them. But from a technical standpoint, the condor is probably my favorite because that was the first one I did of the 8, and so I was really pushing myself to kind of define the style of the series. So I focused a lot on the lighting and just the composition and the color, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I think that one's still my favorite because it set the tone. It's good.
They came out really incredible, and they
Thank
literally
you.
look alive and breathing. Like the eyes, you just captured everything so well.
Yes, my favorite part to do.
Yeah, can you tell me more about that? Why is it your favorite part?
Well, I've felt really close to animals ever since I was little. My mother really tried to show us how animals have their own lives and sort of personhood. And so when I paint or draw an animal, I really try and capture that. I try and show people kind of what I see. Because when I see an animal, I see a person. So when I painted these, I really wanted each one to come out as being a portrait of a specific animal instead of just kind of vague, broad, general species.
I think you captured that super well.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was the hardest thing that you did?
The hardest was definitely the Atlantic salmon. I actually kind of had to do that one twice. I've never actually seen fish before, so that was some new ground for me. And something else that made that one a bit of a challenge was that, just because of the way fish are, a landscape painting would be easier to capture the fish in, but these were all portrait style. So I had to think a lot harder about how to compose the painting so that it wouldn't look awkwardly cut off if the whole fish wasn't in the picture. And I think by kind of being able to incorporate the full bodies of some other fish and just really focusing on that main fish's face, I feel like I accomplished that, but it was definitely a challenge.
I think you captured it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You need validation.
I need a validation.
That's fair. So, Cal, how did you bring art into your federal career? The winning $1 million question.
The $1 million question, the one people really wanted to know. So I started, my first job with the federal government was with the Forest Service, and I started as a recreation technician. My main job was to, clean trailheads and maintain trails and things like that. And there was a need at the time for some interpretive sign development. And so when I expressed an interest in that, my supervisor she was fabulous, but she helped me kind of get set up, putting some time aside to do that. And so my first project with them was really more of a design project. They didn't have that much art incorporated, but then they said they wanted more signs, and I had the opportunity to bring more art to those because those ended up being more like the first one I did of the bigger series I ended up doing was with a butterfly. So it started with just drawing the butterfly, but then with every sign, there was more artwork incorporated. And then when I joined Fish and Wildlife, I came in with that behind me, and so my supervisor here gave me the opportunity to come up with some of my own communication ideas. So that's when I came up with the Obscure Species Club, and I've been really fortunate that I've had a lot of opportunities to do art here.
Yeah, we love the Obscure Species Club. Big time fan here. All right, so what do you consider before starting an art-based work assignment?
So, as is the case for pretty much every project, the first thing you have to think about is your audience and what kind of style is your audience going to kind of expect from this kind of project and what will reach them the most. With the ESA at 50, I had a lot of freedom to kind of come up with the style. So what I thought about for this project was what I wanted people to take from it, and what I wanted people to take from it was a love of these species and an understanding of why the Endangered Species Act is important and why we should protect these species. So to do that, I wanted to kind of bring the beauty of the species in. But, for other kinds of art projects, that might not be the focus. So for the Obscure Species Club, something that is simple and cute and relatable, but not so highly detailed is more appropriate. But I love being able to kind of do a bunch of different styles. Yeah, I think that's fun.
Well, do you have any other projects on the horizon?
Yeah, we are putting out some more comics. These aren't the Obscure Species Club specifically, but same style, and those will be coming out for Pollinator Week this year in June. So you can look forward to more comics.
We love the comics. And do you have any questions from the audience? Thank you. All right, so we have one. Have you connected with other artists at U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service? Conservation needs more artists like you.
Thanks. Yeah, I have actually. I sought out to talk to a few different artists here. I won't be able to say them all by name. But I've definitely reached out to a few myself, and then I've had others after they've seen my artwork come to me and ask, how they might be able to bring art into what they do. And so, my suggestion, if you're in a similar position, is let your supervisors know what you can do, and that's definitely the first step. I've realized that, people don't assume other people can do art, but when they find you can do art, they're very enthusiastic about it. And usually there are projects that are kind of out there that seem like dreams, maybe that your supervisor has had or your program has had, that they just haven't had the person to do. And maybe you can be that person. So that's what I would definitely suggest, is let it be known what you can do.
We have a lot of talented people that work for this
We
agency,
do.
honestly. Work for us. Other questions? Okay, let's see. Ooh, this is fun. What is your favorite National Wildlife Refuge?
I have not been to that many, but I did get to go to Kern National Wildlife Refuge last year, and I got to help with a survey of taking kangaroo rats, and that was very exciting because they're so cute. And so I think that one has to be my favorite because I had a great experience there.
You captured photos of them?
We did, yeah. I will probably be writing a story about it at some point in the coming months.
Stay tuned. All right. Well, what do you like about working for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service?
Yes, so something I really like about working here is I think the mission of the Fish and Wildlife Service to protect and conserve our nation's wildlife is really important to all the people who work here, and that's why we work here. So having that sort of unifying feeling among your coworkers is cool. I have to say, that is really important. So that's probably my favorite thing. But I also love how open that service has been to trying new things. That's been also really good.
Do you have any more questions? Let's see. Ooh, what are some skills and abilities that U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is in need of?
Ooh.
These are good questions.
I mean, so, that's a good question. I'm not sure I know exactly how to answer, but I'm in public affairs, so I see it from our side. I definitely think, having people come in with fresh ideas is probably something that would be, really useful. We're always trying to come up with new ways to reach people and help spread our message. And so, you have ideas, or if you want to join the service with your ideas of how to reach people with, the message of protecting endangered species or preserving habitat or any of that, we would love to hear that. It's easy to kind of stick to what we know, but it's a great thing. We can branch out of it and try new things.
Yeah, we welcome creativity in this agency. And everything else, that's pretty on point. Then we'll have time for how many more questions do you have? We have time for two more questions. Oh, okay, cool. Where can we find your art?
Like outside of work or inside of work?
Inside of work. Inside of work.
So I work for Sacramento Fish and Wildlife Office. So most of what I produce can be found on Sacramento Fish and Wildlife's website, which is that fws.gov/Sacramento? Yeah. And so I've done a few things. I've done the Species Club. I've done some, Color California Pollinator. If you search that, you'll find some color by numbers from the simple to the complex.
Those are fun.
Yeah, and then we've done a few infographics on fire and healthy landscapes in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and you can find those on our website too.
Okay. Let's take a look at these last couple ones. What is your favorite species? This is always a fun question.
Am I allowed to say cats? I know it's not a wild animal. Well, let's see.
They count. But I want a wild animal.
You want a wild animal?
Yeah.
In that case, I'm not going to stray too far from the animal. I think like a Canadian lynx might be my favorite. I'm just like, I have a lot of affinity for felines, so pretty much all the felines are my favorite, but I do really like lynxes in particular.
That's a good one. Kind of underrated for big cats. I feel like
They are.
I don't talk about them enough. All right, last question. What skills have you gained while working for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service?
Yeah, so this job was really the first job I had where I'm doing public affairs. So mainly what I've learned a lot of is what that really looks like from the professional standpoint, and all the things that really go into working in public affairs. It's one thing to draw a portrait, but after it's drawn, then what? So before you even go there, you kind of have to come up with a plan for how you're going to distribute this and get it seen, and then who you're going to distribute it to, and what you're going to say, and basically it's just a whole like promotion plan. So that's a new thing that I haven't really done that much of on my own. And then after that, it's important to look at what you did and find what worked, and that's how you try and improve next time. Like if you didn't get the reach you wanted, then what can you do to get further reach? So kind of that reflective aspect. So yeah, that's really the pre part of the project. And the post part of the project, I've learned a lot since I worked for the service.
Well, thank you, Cal, for all your insight, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
And thank you, everyone who has ever commented to say that you liked what I did. I do read them, and it means a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.